Really happy for our guys. I thought, we really tried to, emphasize defense over the last few weeks, and I think we've seen a lot of carryover at that end of the floor, and I really believe this, and I've been telling our guys this. I think we can compete with anybody in the country if we're right on that side of the floor. If we have the intensity, the discipline, and obviously when you play a tremendous team like Villanova, who gives you, they shoot the ball all over the court. They do 1 through 5 at times. They'll put Eric Paschal at the 5 at times, and they have 5 guys who can really shoot the ball. They put you in a lot of predicaments on that end, and I thought our guys did a tremendous job. Zach Hankins was much better in this game than he was in game 1. Ball screen defense, the coverage that we used, I thought he did a great job. I thought switching over to Tyreek Jones, and you look at Tyreek Jones's stat sheet, you're going to say, hey, he only had 6 points, he had 8 rebounds, though. But he was a big reason why we were able to win the game. I thought switching 1 through 5, he gave us that ability to do that. And I thought that really changed the game at the very end. When I think the game was tied 44-44 is when we went to switching ball screens. But we got contributions from everybody, and that's the way it has to be moving forward. Elias Harden was great. Scruggs was great. Everybody made winning plays, and we got to continue to move on. Just like I told our guys, obviously a really big win for our team. But it's next game mentality. We got another huge opportunity at St. John's.
Travis, Elias has been a guy that didn't play a ton at the very beginning of the season. There was 3 games I think he didn't play at all, but then lately he's really made an impact. What were your conversations with like that during the year with him in terms of playing time, and how did he earn your trust to get on the court as much as he has been lately? Yeah,
Shannon, I would say, I tell our guys, at the very beginning of the season, if you want to talk about playing time, then be ready for reality when you step into my office. And it's the first thing I'm always going to point to is our Xavier way. Like we keep track of every stat in practice, from missed shots to turnovers to fouls to drawing fouls, taking a charge, all that stuff, impact and winning. And Elias has gotten a lot better. He came up to my office, I'll never forget, and he asked, hey, Coach, how can I get on the floor? How can I gain your trust? And I said, well, it starts at the defensive end. I got to know that you're gonna do our system, which he did tonight. He was tremendous defensively. Obviously made 2 threes, but I thought he made a big impact in the game on the defensive end with his energy, but also his discipline. But then he's also taking care of the ball a lot better. He has. He cut down his turnovers, give him a lot of credit. I told him, I said, hey, your turnover percentage is way too high, and that's part of that trust. And he's changed that in practice, which has, again, led to carry over into the games, because you are your habits that you do every day in practice. And he's really made a turn for it, which is good for us because we need everybody to impact winning.
Coach, during that run there in the second half, Villanova went from like the 12:46 mark to the 3:37 mark without scoring. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious what you think about that, how that feels to hear that.
I love it. I wish we wouldn't have scored 1 bucket all game, right? Make me feel even better. But again, I give a lot of credit to Tyreek. I really do, because we wouldn't be able to switch 1 through 5 if it wasn't for Ty. Ty's ability to move his feet. He worked really hard with Matt Jennings all summer to be able to guard perimeter guys. It's like I told him, they always want, his question always to me was like, hey, how can we play 2 bigs together? I said, number one, you got to be able to guard a guy that's on the perimeter, a guy like Eric Paschal, a guy like Phil Booth. He did a great job staying in the play. And again, I thought he was a big reason why we were able to kind of go on that run defensively, was because he gave us the ability to switch 1 through 5. But also other guys, Najee was tremendous, Paul, Q, all those guys, they gave great effort and they were disciplined.
You guys coming into this game were 1-11 against Villanova in the Big East, and I think 3 years ago to the day was the only time that you've beaten them in the Big East. Why do you think this team has been able to stick with it the way that they have and get kind of a signature win here when they needed it?
I think I've said this before, but I think when your group goes through a lot of adversity, your bond, your relationships and your team comes a lot tighter. And I think our team's been through a lot, obviously, this year. We haven't always played as well as we want. But it's like I told our guys, we always got to look ourselves in the mirror, me included, and say, hey, what can we do better? We got to stick together. And I think there's a trust amongst our group that wasn't obviously there earlier on in the year. On both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively, trusting that, hey, you know what, I know Elias is going to be in his gap. I know he's going to go high hands on the catch. Trust that guys are going to make the right plays offensively. If a guy helps it on my drive, I'm going to kick the ball out to the guy that's open. That trust factor is there, and I think going through the adversity that we've gone through has helped our group come tighter. And when you go and play against really good teams like Villanova, obviously our guys were excited to play. The crowd was phenomenal. Phenomenal. They had a big, you could feel the energy in the building right when I walked out. And about 2 minutes before the game, man, it was electric in there. How can you not be ready to play against Villanova?
We've been talking in here a lot during midweek, not on game day, about the runs that previous Xavier teams have gone through in the past to kind of get themselves back right. Is this starting to feel like you're doing something special at this point when you put 4 together near the end of the year like this?
Obviously, we always take it one game at a time, but I do think, we've gotten a lot better. And I told our guys, even like I felt like when we played at Villanova in game 1, we were competitive. But we're a heck of a lot better now than we were then, a lot, dramatically. And, I just want to see our team continue to get better. We still got a long ways to go, but I do think, the confidence that we have, the trust that we have, the togetherness that we have, I told our guys, I feel like we can beat anybody. We can be competitive with anybody, and we just got to be able to rely on that defensive end of the floor. Like I've said, whether it's here at Cintas or we're playing at Madison Square Garden or we're playing at St. John's, doesn't really matter who we're playing or where it's at. Defense travels.
I asked you this week about Najee, and his recent usage has just gone through the roof. He's taken a lot of shots. He's really started to assert himself. Has he become an alpha for this team?
Yeah, the open guy's always going to be our go-to guy, but he's playmaking. He's doing a great job. He's taking shots. He's shooting with a ton of confidence, Joe. Ben Johnson and Dante Jackson have done a great job staying in extra with him, getting him extra shots, keeping him confident, even during the stretch of the season where he wasn't shooting well. And I think what now's happening for Najee is because he's ready to catch and shoot, now it's going to open up drives. Now it opens up the rest of his game. And when you play with confidence, man, it's amazing what can happen. And, he's doing a great job. He's playmaking. And he's passing the heck out of the ball. I thought he made a couple really nice passes out of the ball screen off driving kicks, just making the right reads. We got to continue to get that from him.
And you also came in, I'm not sure if you noticed it, you had some scratches on your face. Celebration?
See my son Winston back there? We got in a wrestling match. And not his fingernail got me, his toenail. His toenail. But hey, you know what? We're good, though. I won, didn't I, Winston? No, he's not going to answer right now. He's on the phone.
I guess I'll follow up and I'll finish with this. What was the celebration like for you guys? Look, this is the biggest win you guys have had so far this year.
Yeah, excited. I think the belief that our guys have in there, we're excited to get back out there, get back to practice. We got to take tomorrow off per NCAA rules. Wish we could practice, but our guys were excited. And I'm happy for our guys. They've been through a lot this year, and we got to continue to get better. But definitely a ton of excitement in there.
Travis, I wonder if you can get into kind of how you guys balance your aggressiveness today. You took 14 more foul shots in Villanova, but you guys also have 5 less fouls.
Yeah, I thought number one, I thought the way we guarded ball screens led to less fouls, led to shorter closeouts for us. We either veered back, which was a very soft hedge with Zach Hankins, so then you don't get in rotation nearly as much. Same thing with switching. When you switch 1 through 5, there are no rotations on ball screens. Again, so it allows you to have shorter closeouts. That was our defensive game plan. And then I think at the other end, I thought our guys did a really good job of moving the ball. I thought making some really nice passes, especially in the second half, kind of picking and choosing when to push, when not to push. And our guys got to continue to grow up in that area and play with great poise, but I thought we got them in some long closeout situations off ball screens, which led to either wide open threes or long closeouts, and then we're attacking the closeout and driving the ball. So I loved our aggressiveness, obviously, on the offensive end, and then obviously we don't want to foul. I think we never foul, just so you know. But again, I thought we did a good job of short closeouts.
So 4 straight Big East wins. You guys jump now into that top 4 area. What does that mean for you guys?
Honestly, nothing. I'm numb to all that. It's one game at a time. We want to keep getting better and just keep plugging away. That's all we're focused on. Next one's up. So obviously, St. John's. We got to have a great practice on Tuesday and Wednesday leading up to that game to give ourselves a chance.
Coach, we talk about uncertainty at times this year, when things weren't going as well. Did you always believe in that your team would get here, that you guys would kind of figure this out and put it together? Was that more difficult at times?
I did. Obviously, when you go through a 6-game losing streak, you start to question a lot of things. You always look at, hey, what can I do better? What can each individual do better? What can our team do better? And I go back to any good team always has an identity. Always. And at that point in the year, I don't think we had an identity. And, so again, like I told those guys, if we're going to give ourselves any shot at all, our three-point field goal percentage defense has to be tons better, and it has been since then. And our guys have really bought into it, and I think that's become our identity on that defensive side of the ball. Is again, offense, and we want to take care of the ball. Obviously, we want to score a lot of points, but we need to be able to get stops and be committed to getting stops.
It feels like there's kind of a never say die mentality to this team. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do. I think that starts with some of our leaders on our team, like whether it's Tyreek, Najee, those guys are competitive. No matter if we're down by 10, we're up by 10, doesn't really matter. We're going to play 40 minutes. Same thing with me. I'm going to coach just as hard if we're down as we're up. I don't really care what the circumstances are when we're going to compete for 40 minutes. Is that it? Thanks.